Suspect Brian Koberger making his first appearance Thursday before an Idaho judge. Perhaps the most chilling revelation, one of the two surviving roommates telling police she came face to face with the killer. Waking at around 4 a.m., she says she heard one of the roommates say, "There's someone here," but didn't see anyone when she looked herself. According to a newly released court document, she later heard crying coming from the victim's rooms and a man say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm gonna help you."
This video is brought to you by the Officer Tatum Store. Merch link is in the description section. Make sure you get your merch. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to the Officer Tatum Show. The Idaho murderer. I thought that was a very interesting way in which he got caught. You know, and I think I predicted this from the beginning, that police officers don't always let you know everything they got, right? Because they don't want the killer to know that they know everything. Because if they do, then they begin to destroy evidence. Then they begin to build a case for themselves in case they get caught. So the police keep it on the hush. But apparently they were able to track this kid down because of DNA found on a knife sheath. And a knife sheath is the holster for a knife. So you pull the knife out and it's in a knife sheath. And the reason I said that, because some people may not know what a knife sheath is unless you're somebody that carry weapons and you know, or you know somebody that do. But they ended up finding this guy because of that DNA match. They also had a description of his vehicle, and it says that the knife sheath was found on the bed or in the room next to one of the scenes of the victims. And they were able to find that, get a suspect profile from his DNA. He had been pulled over multiple times in his Hyundai Elantra, and therefore they ended up getting his cell phone number. Because when you get pulled over on a traffic stop, they can still ask you questions and interview about certain things, right? I mean, you're on a traffic stop, they can get your driver's license ID, and then they can ask you, "Hey, what's the contact number for you?" And a good cop will do that on traffic stops. Because you never know when that person's profile may be necessary to access, right? Because what we used to do is used to ask people to fill out a phone number. I used to ask people that, "Hey, what's your name? What's your address and your phone number?" And then we'll load that into the system. Now, you don't have to give the phone number if you don't want to, but most people don't know that. So you get that information because one day that person may be, I don't know, their child may be attempting to commit suicide, and we need to contact that person, and we don't have their phone number anywhere. But if you do your due diligence and on every contact you try to get as much information as you can from people within reason, then that may pop up and you may be able to contact that person as a source. But the police officer did due diligence, and when he got pulled over, they got his phone number. They were able to take that number and track it. And so not only did they have the knife sheath, they also were able to track his phone number. And it says that the investigation said the Hyundai Elantra, no, I didn't go back to the phone number. It says that the phone number was pinged, and they could see that it was pinged. Am I on the right page? Oh, here you go. It says the phone pinged around 2:47 a.m. the night of the murder in Pullman, Washington, which is where he lived. It says then it went quiet until approximately 4:48 a.m. when it showed him traveling on the highway south of Moscow, Idaho, near the murder scene. Said the phone pinged a few more times before he headed back to Pullman around 5:30 a.m., which led investigators to believe that he took a purposeful travel pattern in order to divert their attention away from him and kind of confuse the scene. Now, he did study criminal justice in college, and I would argue a narcissistic person and a crazy, deranged, murdering lunatic, they probably find joy in not only learning about the criminal justice system, but being a part of the outsmarting of the criminal justice system. But he was dumb as a bag of rocks because he left the sheath behind with his DNA on it. Now, that could have been accidental. Maybe he could have left a trail for the police because he wanted them to catch him, but he wanted to play a game of cat and mouse. But, I mean, thank God he wasn't smart enough to do that effectively. And so also the vehicle that he had, they got his vehicle that was seen traveling near the student housing in Moscow, Idaho, between 3:29 a.m. and 4:20 a.m. at the estimate time of the murder. I read an article earlier that said that one of the roommates actually came face to face with him after he killed the roommates, and then ended up walking out of the building.
Perhaps the most chilling revelation, one of the two surviving roommates telling police she came face to face with the killer. Waking at around 4 a.m., she says she heard one of the roommates say there's someone here, but didn't see anyone when she looked herself. According to a newly released court document, she later heard crying coming from the victim's rooms and a man say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm gonna help you." She opened her door to see a man dressed in black and wearing a mask who walked towards her and out a back door as she stood in frozen shock and then locked herself in her room. Police weren't called to the home until noon that day for reasons still not clear. Steve Gonzalez describing the roommate's state at the time of the 911 call.
You got to remember, these two girls were so upset that when they went outside after seeing this, the one passed out and the other one was so hyperventilating that the message wasn't clear enough for the operator.
The newly unsealed 18-page charging affidavit also says a state forensics lab found the suspect's DNA on the button snap of a knife sheath left laying next to one of the victim's bodies. The charging document also says police used both phone records and video footage of his white Hyundai Elantra to place the suspect near the scene of the crime.
There was also a indication that he may have been stalking them. And it says the car circled the area multiple times, or 3 times. No, I'm on the wrong page. It's another part where it says that he had come back to that house multiple times. It says at least 12 occasions prior to November the 13th of 2020 that his phone had pinged in the area. It says he could have been stalking the victim to murder them. His phone pinged in the coverage area of the student housing at least 12 times. So it appears that he may have stalked them, planned it, murdered them, tried to cover it up, almost made an escape. But thank God police did an excellent job. FBI, hopefully they were contributing factors and they caught this scumbag.